Well, hello, everybody. I'm trying to get this fixed up for us. Everything's normally been set up for Stratomatic, so I'm trying to fix this now so we can get it straight for History Maker. I think that'll cover it right there. I think that covers everything. We are looking at Game 1 of the 2025 World Series, which I imagine most of you already know that the Blue Jays blew out the Dodgers. So don't know that we're going to have a repeat of this, but just thought it'd be fun to play it anyway. Blake Snell against Trey Yesavage, the pitching matchup. Exact starting lineups as was in the World Series. The exact rosters, bullpens, benches, everything's identical. Hello, Kenyon. Got the score sheet right here. I'm making both teams semi-harmonious in Game 1. I'm not going to do any game day checks. I'm using the standard second player hot, 8-player cold Steve Tower method. So keeping it simple basically here. Now, once Game 2 comes along, then I'll take what happened here in Game 1, not in real world, but what happened in this game, Game 1, and apply it to Game 2. Rogers Center plays semi-small to righties and normal to lefties. Kind of unusual. I thought this was a symmetrical ballpark, but they're saying that's not the case, so I don't know. And of course, the umpires are the same as they were in the real game. Let me see if I can bring this light on here, but I hate getting the ring light on there. So see if we can do it without the ring light. Maybe, I don't know. Probably not going to be able to do it that way. It's not going to show up very well, apparently. I don't have enough light here, I don't think. But anyway, I don't know if it'll show up here or not. Will Little is behind the plate. Mark Wegner is at first. Patrolling second is going to be John Tumpane, and at third base is Alan Porter. Those are the umpires. I just took a picture of it so I don't have to move the webcam. But that's what's up here on the board above me, or it's that particular setup. So we're going to get this game going. History Maker Baseball, and this is the only game I know you can do this with, as far as I'm aware. Certainly can't do it for Stratomatic or the big boys because those cards don't come out until next year. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get this game going. I got a little bit of coffee still left, still vaguely warm. And we will get this underway. These are cards that I made on the Card Maker, and I used the ratings book and Baseball Reference to get the ratings as close as I could to what they say the actual ratings are. That ring light is going to be annoying, so I think I'm just going to ignore it. And I think we've got enough light here to cover it, hopefully. All right, so we're going to get this game underway, and who's going to lead off but Shohei Ohtani? Of course, the two-way player. He's got pitching qualities and hitting qualities, obviously. All right, so young Trey Yesavage. He is a prospect. He just came up in September, but he is a star with flash based on his ERA and his strikeouts and his control. He has medium control, so he's not listed there, but he is a prospect. So if we go to yes, I printed them out, Jeff. Yes, I put them in the Excel format that the creator came in, and I added my own logos and team colors, and I printed them out. Absolutely. And I actually printed them out twice. I've got them in their home and road jerseys. So not sure how well it shows up on the stream, but the Dodgers are actually in a gray, and the Blue Jays are in white. And of course, when they go to LA will be in white, and the Blue Jays will be in the powder blue. But game 1 and 2 was in Toronto, so that's what we're starting with. Hello, Ernest. Good to see you. So Trey Yesavage pitching to Shohei Ohtani. We're underway. 4.66. That's asking, does he have control? And no, he does not have control. Is the batter a home run king or a slugger? He's actually both, so he's going to strike out. And that's exactly what happened in the real game, actually. Yesavage struck out Ohtani to start the game real world. So there you go. Not sure that's going to continue the rest of the game, but, hey, it's pretty cool that the first at-bat turned out exactly like it did in real world. All right, that's the only thing I remember. I remember he struck out Ohtani, but after that I don't recall because I was flipping channels watching the football game, college football game. So I kind of went back and forth on this. So I'm not sure what Betts did. I don't really care what Betts did in real world. We're caring what he does right now. That's a 156, and it's asking, is he a whiffer? He is not. So we're going to outfield drama for Toronto. And in the outfield for Toronto, Miles Straw, the right fielder, is semi-gold. The left fielder and center fielders are neutral. So semi-gold, and now he will be gold. So right fielder is gold. Everybody else is neutral on the outfield drama. So outfield drama 3-4 says left fielder iron. No, left fielder Schneider is neutral. He's not iron. If he were iron, it would be an error. Otherwise, he catches the fly out. So simple fly out there. Since he wasn't a bad fielder, he didn't make himself an error, and that's 2 away for Freddie Freeman. That's a 1-2-6. It's asking again about, well, actually 1-2-6 actually asks about freshness. If you look at 1-2-6, it asks about, is he fresh? We're in the first inning, so obviously he's fresh. So it's a line out to second base, and that's going to do it for the Dodgers. They come away empty-handed, 3 up and 3 down. I forgot to move a little out token there. Sorry about that. But the Dodgers go away 3 up and 3 down. And now Blake Snell will be facing off here against George Springer to start the bottom of the first. So 2-3-6 is asking about double control. He does not have it. So Springer will draw the walk. To start things off, George Springer will reach base on a leadoff walk. And that'll bring up Davis Snyder, the left fielder. That's a 2-2-3. Is the pitcher wild? No. Is the batter slugger or utility? He is utility. So he will line to short. Unless he's a whiffer, he is also a whiffer, so he will strike out. Whiffer just means he has a propensity to strike out more. That's all. That's all whiffer means. I mean, don't get lost in the terminology here. They're just little funny words for telling you that he strikes out a lot. Okay, here is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Springer still at first. 1-1-5. Is he fresh? Yes, we're in the first inning. He's fresh. So let's pop up to the infielder of our choice. And we'll just see who he pops it up to. Pops it up to the shortstop. Mookie Betts, 2 down. So Guerrero is gone. And here comes Bo Bichette. Interestingly, he played shortstop all season, was injured for the early rounds of the playoffs, comes back in the World Series and actually plays second base. So we're going to treat him as a neutral fielder just like we did at shortstop. So Bo Bichette stepping to the plate. 2-4-5. It's a pitcher blank. Ask, is he a hero? He is a semi-hero, but the decider die says he's not a hero this time. That means when they rate him, hero basically talks about you're hitting between like 270, 280, something like that. But you're on the borderline, so it's a semi-hero. So, I mean, sometimes you're a hero and sometimes you're not based on what this 50-50 decider die says. This time it says you're not a hero. So this time he's not a hero. So instead he will pop it up to second base, and that will end the inning. So that's going to do it. We go to the second inning. But when you pop it up to second base, that's in red. So we're going to the experience chart for the beginning of the top of the second. And that's an advantage to the Dodgers because Will Smith is semi-icon and Yasavage is a full prospect. So definitely advantage Dodgers on this one with the experience. That's where the game brings in veteran players that maybe can get one over on a rookie. We shall see. So we're going to the mini chart. And that's a dot. So that means he is a full icon. So we got an icon batter against a prospect pitcher. 4-5 says prospect batter. No, he's not a prospect batter. If he was, he would strike out. Otherwise, hard to field infield grounder batter out at first. But if he's active, he's safe. He's actually semi-stoic, very slow. So he's going to be out. And the out's going to go, well, not to the Savage. It'll go somewhere else. It goes to first. So Vladimir Guerrero will take it to the bag himself. 1 away, and now we're back to the regular chart for Teoscar Hernandez. And there are 2 Hernandezes in this game for the Dodgers, Teoscar and Kike. One's in right field and one's in left field. This is the right field version, Teoscar Hernandez. 1-1-6 is asking, is he fresh? We're in the second inning. Freshness goes from inning 1 to inning 3. So, yes, we are fresh, and that's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Yasavage. That'll bring up Max Muncy, the third baseman. 1-2-3, flash and fresh. Well, he's got the flash, and we know he's fresh because we're in the second inning. So that means we have another strikeout. So Yasavage gets his third strikeout. Nothing doing for the Dodgers. We go to the bottom of the second, still no score. And we will have Alejandro Kirk. Let me fix. I actually made a second Kike Hernandez card, so let me see if I can fix that for you. I didn't like the way I put that, what do you call it? I don't even know what the name is for it. Accent mark, I guess is the right word for it. I got to figure out what I did with it. Come on, where'd you go? Kike. Where are you, Kike? You're in here somewhere. Let's see. You're in here somewhere, Kike. I know. I might just leave it the way it is. I don't know. I'll just leave it the way it is. I didn't do a good job with that particular exclamation point on Kike. So we'll just have to live without it, I guess. Now, in the home version I made for him, obviously I put the hyphen or the accent mark right where it should be. So game companies out there, it ain't that hard to put a accent mark over the name Kike to keep it from being offensive. So we don't want to see any more Enrique Hernandez's. We want to see Kike Hernandez's in our game, not Enrique Hernandez's. So it's Kike Hernandez. Kike Hernandez is up. Well, no, he'll be up in the next inning. Never mind. He's not even up now. What am I worried about? It's third out. I got ahead of myself when I saw his name there. So it is Kike Hernandez. All right. So Alejandro Kirk will lead off. Sorry about that diversion there. 4.66. 4.66. Ask is he a control pitcher? He's got semi-control. The dot gives it to him, but that's going to be a bad sign because if you're a control pitcher on a 4.66, the pitch is read by the batter. And it's a single to left field. So Alejandro Kirk will get himself a leadoff single to start the second, and that brings up Dalton Varsho, center fielder. That's a 1.36, and it's asking, is he an ace? 1.36 asks, is the pitcher an ace? He is a semi-ace, but the dot says no, not this time. So it will not be a strikeout. It asks, is the batter whiffer or cold? Well, he's a whiffer. He's not cold, but he is a whiffer, so he will strike out anyway. So Varsho down on strikes. One away for third baseman Ernie Clement. 1-2-5. And ask, is the pitcher a struggler? He certainly is not. Is the batter patient? He is not patient. So he will ground to third unless he's a whiffer. He is not a whiffer, so he's a ground ball to third. But when you get a lead die of 1 on a ground out, it says double play ground outs. So this will be a double play to end the inning. It will go 5-4-3 around the horn. And that will do it for the Blue Jays in the second inning. So we go to the third, and this will be the final inning of full freshness for both starting pitchers. And now it will be Kike Hernandez at the plate. We get a 1-1-4, and it's asked, is he fresh? Well, we're in the third inning, so he's still fresh. So it is a ground out to short. And that's one away. One down, and that will take us to Tommy Edman, the second baseman, switch hitter. 3-4-6. 3-4-6 is blank for the pitcher. It's asked, is the batter eager? He is semi-eager, and the dot says he is eager. So since he's eager in this particular bat, he will not walk. He will fly to center field. Had he not been so eager to swing, he would have walked, but he was too eager. And, of course, when you're rated eager, that just means you don't walk a lot. So that's the way the game prevents guys that don't walk a lot from walking. Here's Andy Pages. Andy Pages. 2.66. It asks, is a runner on first? No, there's not. Is he the leadoff batter? No, he's not. So it's a fly out to right field. And Yasavage goes 3 innings so far with no damage done. We go to the bottom of the third. Blue Jays coming up. Miles Straw, center fielder. That's a 2-2-3. Ask, is the pitcher wild? No, he's not wild. Is the batter a slugger or utility? He is semi-utility, but the dot says he's not in this at bat. So that means he's going to single. So since he wasn't utility, and utility just means he has a low batting average, and since this time the game says it wasn't low enough, he gets a single. Had the dot been there, would have made it low enough. That's just the way it works. Here's Andres Jimenez, and they're going to bunt. And in history maker baseball, bunting is pretty simplistic. There are no bunt ratings for the batter. Everybody bunts the same. Just roll 1d6, and we get a 4. And a 4 says out at first, runners advance. So there you go. And if you want to say who he bunted to, you can say he bunted. Well, I'm not going to bunt to the shortstop. Let's see here. We're going to bunt it back to the pitcher, Blake Snell. But Straw will take second base on the sacrifice. So the sacrifice will go 1-4. And now back to the top of the order for George Springer, with Straw at second base and 1 out. We get a 1-4-4. Does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does have flash, but it's not necessarily an automatic strikeout because there are these pair of glasses sitting right here, and that's going to require a check of the umpire. So we go to the glasses. If we go to the glasses on the explanation page here, on the 1-4-4 we just rolled, questionable or lenient umpire calls ball 4, not strike 3. So if the umpire is questionable or lenient, this will turn into a walk. Well, the home plate umpire is Will Little, and he is questionable. So that means that it will be a walk, not a strikeout. So Springer will take the base on balls, and the Dodgers thought he missed that call, but that's just all part of baseball. Umpires miss calls. So Will Little didn't give him the strikeout, kind of pinched him a little bit, and now, yes, Jeffrey, I am scoring the game on the History Maker score sheet right here. Got it scored right here. Maybe after this half inning, I'll show the score sheet. Maybe every couple innings, I'll show the score sheet. All right. No score. 2 on, 1 out, and here's Davis Schneider. 1-1-2. 1-1-2 asks, does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. He's got flash. So that's going to be a strikeout on flash, except there's an eyeball here. An eyeball, we go to the eyeball chart. It says good eye. A good eye avoids a strikeout and grounds out instead. Good eye means this guy didn't strike out much. Well, Davis Schneider is not a good eye, so he will strike out. So that strikeout stands. So here's Vladimir Guerrero in a clutch situation. 2 on and 2 outs. 1-4-5, and that's going to ask, is he a struggler? No, he's not. So it's a ground out to third base, and that's going to end the inning. So the Blue Jays put a couple on, but can't make anything happen. And we go to the top of the 4th. No score. Now both pitchers revert to semi-freshness in this case. And if you want to see the score sheet after 3 innings, there is the Dodger version of the score sheet. You can see I've got the umpires here: Little, Wegner, Tom Payne, and Porter. Those are the home plate umpires. We're at Rogers Center. It's a turf field, normal to lefties and semi-small to righties. The date was October 24th, 2025, Game 1. Both teams semi-harmonious. And you can see the ratings I have. Look at all these eyes for the Dodgers. That means they're all icons. They're a very experienced team. All right, a couple of them have gold glove or gold-rated fielders. One guy, Ohtani, is active. A couple guys are stoic, slower. And then you go to the same thing for the Blue Jays roster and see what they have. And, of course, the 8th batter is designated as the cold batter. 2nd batter designated as hot batter until we play Game 2, and then we'll use Game 1 results to determine hot and cold. All right, so now Yasevich is now semi-fresh, so he will need this to be a dot if a freshness call is summoned. All right, here is Shohei Ohtani again. 3-4-4 for Ohtani. Ask, is the pitcher, this is trouble. It asks, is the pitcher a prospect? Yes, he is. So we have a fence check for Ohtani, and he's a slugger and a home run king. So pretty much going to be a guaranteed home run here as far as I can tell. I mean, unless we roll a 1 maybe or something. I don't know. But we go to the fence chart. It's a micro chart called fence. If you're a home run king and a slugger, well, the only way it's not going to be a home run, basically, is if we roll a 1, because he's got both qualities. So I don't see where you have to determine one way or the other. But if we do, we're going to call him a home run king. So the only way he flies out is on a 1. A 2 through 6, he hits a home run. So 2 through 6, he will hit a home run. And he does. So Ohtani goes deep off of Yesevich. Yesevich, the rookie, made a mistake. His inexperience cost him. And Ohtani homers. And the Blue Jays fall behind 1-0 on the Shohei Ohtani home run. It's okay to do that when you're facing a guy that doesn't hit a lot of home runs, but when you face a guy who led the league in home runs or just about led the league in home runs, it's not the time to do it. All right, so here is Mookie Betts. 113, and that's asking, is he ace or dynamic? He is not. He's a star, but he's not ace or dynamic. Is the batter a slugger? He is a semi-slugger. The dot says he is. So that's a double to left field for Mookie Betts. So maybe the second time through the order, Yesevich is getting into trouble, and they're figuring him out. Here's Freddie Freeman. 3-5-6. That's a left-right split. Freddie Freeman's a lefty. Yesevich is a righty, so that's a base hit, two-base advancement, a 2-run or an RBI single rather for Freddie Freeman, and it's 2-0 Dodgers. And that's where the lefty-righty splits come into the game when you roll 3-5-6, and that takes care of that. Lefty batter against a righty pitcher. 2-0 Dodgers, and I believe that's what they did in real world. They got off to a 2-0 lead. So we'll see if art imitates life here. Here's Will Smith trying to get jiggy with it. 1-2-6. Is he fresh? He's semi-fresh, but the dot says he's fresh, so it will be a line out to second base. And there's one away. Had a runner been on second, then we check for a double play, but with a runner on first, we do not. But if the line out goes where the runner is on base, that's when we check for the double play. All right, here's Teoscar Hernandez. Freeman got back at first base. We get a 5-5-6. And that asks, is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he's definitely not a sad sack. So that's a double to right field for Teoscar Hernandez. And on a lead die of 5, all runners score on a double. So it's now 3-0 Dodgers. As Teoscar Hernandez cracks the double. And there's the result in the game book. 5-5-6. He wasn't an ace. So if he was an ace, he could have stopped all that. It would have been a line out to third. But he wasn't an ace. The batter was not a sad sack, which means he's not a very poor average hitter. You have to be like a 200 hitter to be a sad sack. Well, he's not that. And so you get the double to right field. It says active runner steals, but he's not active. So here's Max Muncy. Now the Toronto bullpen starting to loosen. 2-5-6. Is the pitcher a struggler? Now, he would have been a struggler had he not got that line out because he would have given up 4 straight hits, but he's not a struggler. Is the batter champion or patient? He is semi-patient, but the dot says he's not patient this time. So we have infield drama for the Blue Jays, and everyone in the infield is neutral except for Clement at third. He is semi-gold. So everybody's neutral in the infield on infield drama. And the result is a 3-5. 3-5. Third baseman iron. No, he's actually semi-gold, so he's not iron. If he was iron, he would not be able to make the play, be a single to left. Otherwise, it's a routine ground out. So the routine ground out will hold Teoscar Hernandez at second base. And they're 2 away. But had he been an iron fielder, that would have been an error. Not an error, but the ball would have got through for a single. It would have been like playing a 4 rated guy in Stratomatic at third and rolling a 1 on the devil die. That's the equivalent there. All right, here's Kike. 2-4-5 is going to ask, is he a hero? I do believe. Once you play this game, you start to memorize the results. 2-4-5 blank for the pitcher. Is the batter a hero? No, he's not a hero. He's utility. So he will pop it up a second to end the inning, and it's in red, so we're going to the experience chart in the bottom half of the inning. But the Dodgers pick up 3 runs here in the top of the 4th. And we wonder if Yesevich will come back or whether they go to the bullpen. We will have to wait and see what the Blue Jays decide to do. We are going to the experience chart because of that last result. Blake Snell is an icon. Bo Bichette is a semi-icon. See if Bichette is an icon now. He is not. So Bichette is neutral. Blake Snell is an icon. And we got a 1-5 on the experience chart. So we go to the experience chart and see what it has to say. 1-5, prospect batter. No, he's not a prospect. He's just plain old neutral. If he was a prospect, he would lose focus and swing at a junk pitch and line out. Otherwise, it's a single. So since he wasn't a prospect, he didn't have to be an icon, just didn't have to be a prospect. And Bichette gets himself a base hit. So leadoff single for Bo Bichette. And back come the Jays. Here's Alejandro Kirk. That's a 1-3-5. That's the unusual results play. Look at it in the book. 1-3-5 is unusual results, and the lead die determines where you go. The blue 1 means we're going to the umpire chart because the umpire results are in blue. So with the umpire results in blue, and we don't have bases empty, we've got runner at first. So we're in this section here, runner on first, umpire chart. And we're going to see it could be any of these umpires that are in question. It's going to be a 3-3. It says strict umpire at third. The third base umpire is Alan Porter. He is strict. So this is a yes. Strict umpire at third. Batter singles ruled out at third base on a rifle throw. Other umpires' throw rule is not in time. So Porter at third base has ruled that Bichette is out, trying to go to third on a rifle throw by the left fielder. And that's going to be a base hit, but Bichette's going to be out. And we'll call it, let's see here. Well, it doesn't say who the outfielder is. So let's roll it and see. 1-2, it's left field. 3-4, it's center. And 5-6, it's right. So it's left field. So it was single to left, and he probably shouldn't have went anyway, but he tried it. And Kike Hernandez threw him out. So Kirk singles. But Bichette is out 7-5 on the throw from Kike Hernandez. And so Bichette now out at the plate. Kirk is at first base, 1 out for Dalton Varsho. 2-6-6. And that's going to ask if a runner's at first base. 2-6-6. Runner thrown out at first base, so they pick Kirk off first base. He gets picked off by Blake Snell. That's 2 outs on the base paths by the Blue Jays. And now bases are clear for Varsho. Oh, didn't go through. There was one die that was missing. Come on, get out of there. 3-5-6, that's a left-right split, but it's a lefty-lefty matchup, so that's a Circle K strikeout to end the inning since it was a lefty batter versus a lefty hitter. Otherwise, it would have been a base hit. But pitcher had the platoon advantage, so he gets the job done. We go to the 5th, and it's 3-0 favor of the Dodgers. And there you can see the score sheet with the updated totals, 3-0. And you can see where Bo Bichette got thrown out at third base, 7-5. And we're going to get a new pitcher for Toronto. Yasevich is done. So they're going to their bullpen. And all these guys are listed in the bullpen. Some of these guys were starters, but they've been used in the bullpen now in the playoffs. Chris Bassett and Shane Bieber, for one, are both bullpen arms now. They also have Sir Anthony Dominguez, Braden Fisher, Louis Varland, and then they've got some lefties. They also got the closer Hoffman. And they got lefties. They got Mason Fluharty, who pitched last night, Eric Lauer, and Brandon Little. And I said I was going to try to use the pitchers they used last night, but this game is not flowing that way. So it was a Toronto blowout, and that's how they determine their bullpen. So I'm going to use the bullpen guys I think would be most effective. It's Edman, Pages, and Ohtani. Switch right and left, so it really doesn't matter one way or the other, I don't suppose. We're going to go with Louis Varland. I think they call him Louis Varland. And we'll get the numbers on Yasevich. He goes 4 innings, gives up 3 runs. They were earned. And let's see how many hits he gave up. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, all in the same inning, all in that 4th inning. Struck out 3, didn't walk anybody. So that's the pitching line on Yasevich. 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 runs they were earned, no walks, 3 strikeouts, and the 1 home run to Ohtani. And now Louis Varland is on to pitch to Tommy Edman. Switch hitter. Second baseman, Tommy Edman. We had a 1-1-4. Is he fresh? Yes, he just came in the game, so he's fresh. Had that been Yosevich, he would not have been fresh because you didn't get the dot. So that's why you bring in a relief pitcher. He is fresh, so it's a ground out to short, one away. So Edman grounds out, and that's going to send up Andy Pages. I know it looks like Pages, but it's pronounced Pages. 1-1-6. Is he fresh? Absolutely. It's a strikeout for Varland. So he's getting all the freshness rolls here, the first two at bats, and taking advantage of it. Here comes Ohtani. He homered to start the whole thing for the Dodgers last time. 4-4-5. Ask, is the pitcher a workman? No, he's a star. He's not a workman. Is he patient? He's semi-patient, but the dot says no, so he will ground it to first. Had he been patient, he would have walked, but not this time. He grounds it to Guerrero to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the fifth. Still 3-0 Dodgers. Here's Ernie Clement. 2-4-6, and that's asking, does the pitcher have control? He has semi-control, but the dot says no. Is the batter eager or sad sack? He is eager. So instead of walking, he will pop it up to third because he's over eager. Swung at a bad pitch, and that's one away. There are a lot of walk results in this book that get overridden when you're eager because you try to make sure that guys that didn't draw a lot of walks get a lot of walks. You want to keep it realistic. If he's swinging at everything, he's not going to walk a lot. So here's Miles Straw, 2-4-5. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a hero? Miles Straw is a semi-utility, which means a very low average, not a hero, which is a medium average. So he will pop it up to second. And again, that's a result that's in red. So we're going to the experience. Semi-icon for Jimenez against neutral for Bell, or Snell, rather. And now Jimenez is neutral, and Snell is an icon. Now drop one of my D6s. And it went in Tabby's little thing here, and who knows where it went. It's in the bottom level there. I found it finally. It took some digging there. All right, so it's icon Snell against neutral Jimenez, and we get a 2-3 on the experience chart. Hello, Bart. Experience chart. And we get a 2-3. Snell is experienced or an icon, and Jimenez is not. 2-3. Prospect pitcher. No, he's an icon pitcher. If he was a prospect pitcher, a momentary lapse in focus, batter drives pitch to the outfield for a single. Otherwise, it's ground out to second. So it is a ground out to second to end the inning. And Blake Snell, unlike in real world, Blake Snell has pitched 5 shutout innings. So we go to the 6th. Now, Louis Varland as a relief pitcher. By rule, as a relief pitcher, your second inning, you become automatically semi-fresh, not fully fresh. But they're going to leave Varland in there to face Betts. That's a 4-5-6 for Mookie Betts. And a 4-5-6 asks, is he patient? Mookie Betts is not patient, so he'll fly to center. And if you notice on the fly out to center field, that's in purple, so we go into the chemistry chart. However, we're going to make a pitching change, and pitching changes override these micro charts. So we'll be back on the regular chart. However, we will be making a pitching change. With lefty Freddie Freeman coming up, they're going to make a move to the bullpen for a left-hander. So Louis Varland is done. And the Blue Jays will go to Mason Fluharty. He pitched in the game last night. Mason Fluharty. He's a semi-workman. Means he's got a somewhat high ERA, but not horrible, but a little bit higher than average. Flash, which means he strikes out a decent amount of guys, and semi-control, which means he's got decent control, but not the great control. So Fluharty, and I did check it last night. The announcers did call him Fluharty, almost like Foolhardy. Let's see the numbers on Varland. He went an inning and a third and didn't give up anything, striking out 1. So Varland did his job, but now Fluharty has to deal with Freddie Freeman. Hello, DJ from the left coast. 3-5. And look at this. Is this managing, or is it? You don't find this kind of managing on any other channel. I'm telling you right now. I brought in a lefty to face a lefty in a game where splits don't really matter that much, except for one roll. 3-5-6. And what do we get? A 3-5-6. So I'm doing a Barry Horowitz, pat myself on the back on that one. That's a strikeout. Circle K strikeout. That would have been a base hit had we left Varland in there. But the brilliant managing that you get on this channel and nowhere else got you that. So you're welcome. All right, here's Will Smith. 1-3-4. Gold catcher. No, Alejandro. Well, actually, Alejandro Kirk is a semi-gold catcher. We'll look at his numbers. Alejandro Kirk is rated as semi-gold, but the dot says no this time. So he's not going to be a gold catcher in this particular at bat. If he was, we'd have a strikeout. Otherwise, we're going to go to the batter result, asking if he's a champion, which he is not. So we're going to have outfield drama. Outfield drama. And in the outfield for the Blue Jays, Straw in right field is semi-gold. He will now be gold. So he is gold in right field, neutral in left and center. And that's a 2-4 for outfield drama, 2-4. Center fielder gold. No, Varsho is not gold. So if he was, he'd make a sensational diving catch. Otherwise, ball slips through for a single. And it's in purple, so we're going to the chemistry chart. So base hit for 2-out single for Will Smith. And we go to the chemistry chart for Teoscar Hernandez. Both teams by default in this first game are semi-harmonious. Now they're both going to be harmonious. So we got harmonious batters against harmonious fielders. Team chemistry 4-6. Pitching team distance. No, they're semi-harmonious. Actually harmonious. If they were dissonant, pitcher be distracted and allow a walk. Otherwise, we've got infield drama. So we're going to infield drama this time for the Blue Jays. Clement is semi-gold. He is now gold. Everybody else is neutral. Clement at third is gold. 1-3. Let's see if it's asking about a third baseman or somebody else. 1-3 on the infield drama. Third baseman iron. They are asking about third base, but he's gold. He's not an iron. Had he been iron, it'd been error. Otherwise, it's a ground out. So ground out to end the inning. And Teoscar Hernandez is retired. So we go to the bottom of the sixth, and this will be the last inning of semi-freshness for Snell, potentially. But if you keep a shutout going, you keep the semi-freshness going longer. But this is modern baseball, so 6 innings. To be realistic, I'm going to cap him at 6 innings. This will be his last inning, period. No matter what he does, we'll go to the bullpen because, of course, 2025, they're just not, going to use a pitcher for that many innings. So George Springer will lead off. He is walked twice. 5-6-6. That's trouble, I do believe. Maybe not. I guess not. 5-6-6, asking is the pitcher wild? No, he's got control. Does he have a good eye? No, he's semi-patient but does not have a good eye, so he will strike out. And that's in blue, which means we're going to the right now chart. And since we're in the 6th inning, you don't need the decider die anymore to make this happen. Blake Snell is now a hot pitcher because he just struck out Springer. And Davis Snyder is a cold batter because in his previous at bat, he struck out. So we have a hot pitcher against a cold batter here on the right now chart. And we get a 2-5 right now. Baseball right now, 2-5. Hot batter, no, he's a cold batter. If he was hot, he would rip a pitch for a single. Otherwise, liner down the baseline, fielded by first for a line out. So he lines it out to Freddie Freeman, and that is out number 2. And that'll bring up Vladdy Guerrero. 2-6-6. Nobody's on first base to get picked off this time. And he's not the leadoff batter, so he will fly to right, and that's going to do it, and that'll do it for Blake Snell. Blake Snell will go 6 innings and not give up anything. 6 innings pitched, and he walked 2. He struck out not that many. He only struck out 4. And how many hits did he give up? 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. So there is your score sheet after 6 innings of play. 3-0 Dodgers. You can see Varland in there, and now Fluharty was in there. And we go to the Blake Snell's line: 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Of course, no home runs allowed either. So that's where we stand after 6. And let's see what we get here. We're going to have a new pitcher for Toronto. Fluharty did what they wanted him to do. So now Toronto will go to, or actually, no, they're going to leave Fluharty in to face Muncy. I take it back. They'll let Fluharty face Muncy. And then after that, they'll take him out. And in the bullpen, coming in next will be Sir Anthony Dominguez. He will be the new guy in the coming into the ball game for the Blue Jays, Sir Anthony Dominguez. And he has a double flash quality, which means, if you're not familiar with this game, a flash usually means you strike the batter out. When you have double flash, you strike the current batter out and the next batter out. Seems a little strange because the next batter has no choice in the matter, but that's just the way the rules work out. So that's where those double flashes are really, really good. All right, so Fluharty will stay in the game to face Muncy for one more batter. Lefty, 2-2-4. And this is the one home field advantage roll. 2-2-4, pitching at home. Yes, they are. It's a pop out to short. So pop out to short on the pitching at home. And that's the one roll I can think of, unless there's maybe in a rare play somewhere. But on the main board, the home field advantage is the 2-2-4 roll. And he gets that advantage. So he will pop out to short. And now Sir Anthony Dominguez will be coming into the ball game to face Kike Hernandez. So Fluharty did his job, and now Sir Anthony Dominguez. And there's also a perk now. When you bring a relief pitcher in the middle of an inning, he automatically becomes an ace for the first at bat. So not only is he a semi-star, but he's now also an ace. So he's got both of those covered for Kike Hernandez. And that's a 1-4-6. And that asks, does he have flash? Yes, he does. He's got double flash. There is a good eye here, so you have to have a good eye to avoid that. Kike does not. And the next batter, Tommy Edman, does not. So Sir Anthony Dominguez comes in and strikes out the first 2 he faces to end the inning. Another brilliant managing move on this channel. And you saw it live right there. Sir Anthony Dominguez makes one pitch and gets 2 strikeouts and gets out of the inning. And now we get to go to the 7th inning stretch. And when I do the score sheet, when it's a double flash strikeout, I do connect them here. It's kind of like the old Mo from the Three Stooges, the double eye poke is what I call it. And that's what we got as of the 7th inning stretch. There you have the score sheet. Bottom of the 7th. And that's the numbers for Toronto's pitching, and that's the numbers for Snell. We're going to bring in a new pitcher for the Dodgers now, as Bo Bichette is going to be coming in to hit, or he's already there to hit. So we'll look at the pitchers available out of the bullpen for the Dodgers. We've got Will Klein, Edgardo Henriquez, Jake Dry. Oh, I'm sorry, he's a lefty. Emmett Sheehan, another right-hander. Justin Robleski, Blake Trinan, and their closer, Roki Sasaki. They are from the right side. From the left side, you have the veteran Clayton Kershaw. You have Anthony Banda. And you have Jake Dreyer. I think Banda pitched in the game last night as well. But with Bichette coming up and Kirk and Varsho, 2 of the 3 are right-handed. So they will go to, actually, we're going to go to Emmett Sheehan. He actually pitched in the game last night. So we'll use Emmett Sheehan. Why not? Semi-star, flash, and control. So we will use Emmett Sheehan. He does not get the ace quality because he's coming in to start the inning, not in the middle of an inning. Used to be in the old rules that you get the ace no matter what, but they updated them a couple of years ago and said you had to be coming in the middle of an inning. So, wrong spot. Put him over here in the visiting spot here. Bo Bichette is who he will face. 4-4-5. Ask, is he a workman? No, he's semi-star. Is the batter patient? No, he's semi-eager. So he'll ground to first. He would have potentially walked on it if he'd have been patient, but a little overeager for Bichette coming back from injury. He was so overeager, he didn't want to take a walk. So here is Kirk. 1-2-5. Ask, is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. Is the batter patient? No, he's not patient. So he'll ground to third. He's not a whiffer, so he won't strike out. He will just ground to third. And that'll be handled over there at third base by Max Muncy. So now 2 outs, and Dalton Varsho, the batter. One, 4, 6. Does he have flash? Yes, he does. It's going to be a strikeout unless Varsho has a good eye. He does not. So the strikeout will stand. And the Dodgers are doing to the Blue Jays what they did to the Brewers in the previous series. Their pitching just overwhelms them, and they've shut them out through 7 innings. That'll be it for Sheehan. He's a 1-inning guy. Gave up nothing, struck out 1. And now the Blue Jays will need a new pitcher as well. Coming up for the Dodgers in the 8th will be Pages, and then Ohtani and Betts. So you got right, left, right. So you can pretty much go any direction you want at this point. So they will go with, boy, who do they want to go with here? They will go with, we will go with Braden Fisher. Right-hander. He's a semi-ace with flash and control. Semi-ace means that basically his ERA was somewhere around 2.5 or so, something like that. There's a range factor that they use. All right, so here is Andy Pages. That's a 2-3-4, and ask, are there runners on base? No, he's not. Those are not. Is he a hot batter himself? Pages is last at bat, struck out, so he's a cold batter. So he won't get a fence check. Instead, he'll pop it to third, and that's 1 away. And here's Ohtani. 1-3-5. That's the unusual results again. This time the red 1 will dictate where we go. Red 1. And when you get a red 1 and a black 5, which is what we have here, we go to something called balks and bogeys. So we're going to re-roll on the mini chart, balks and bogeys. We get a double, then we go to highlight reels. We get a 1-2. 1-2. Routine fly ball lost by the outfielder. Batter safe at second on a 2-base error. Now, it doesn't give the outfielder in question, so we'll roll for it. 1-2 is left field. 3-4 is center, and 5-6 is right. So that's right fielder. In this case, that is Miles Straw. Makes a 2-base error, and Ohtani will be at second base. So that's on the balks and bogeys chart. So you never know what you're going to get on balks and bogeys. The equivalent of the Stratomatic Rare Play. All right, so that will bring up Mookie Betts. 1-5-6. Is Betts a whiffer? No, he's not. So we got outfield drama. And again, Straw is semi-gold. Even though he just made that error, he's semi-gold. Oops, wrong one here. Now he's neutral, so neutral outfielders all around. 2-6 on the neutral outfielder drama. 2-6. Center fielder stoic. Center fielder is Varsho. He is neutral. He's not stoic. He's not slow. So if he had been stoic, he would have dives for fast fading ball and can't make the play. Otherwise, he makes the grab. So a slow running center fielder, that ball would have dropped in front of him. But since Varsho is neutral, he was able to get to that. Now, Freddie Freeman is up, but first base is open, so they will intentionally walk Freddie Freeman, and they'll take their chances with Will Smith, but they don't want Freddie Freeman beating them, even though they're already kind of down 3-0, but they don't want to make it worse, letting Freeman do something. So here's Will Smith, 4-5-5 for Will Smith. 4-5-5. Does the pitcher have flash? Yes, he does. It's going to be a strikeout. So the intentional walk works. And Will Smith is out of there. And I'm not going to belabor the point about what a managing move that was, because you already know about all that stuff if you watch the channel long enough. That's it for Fisher. He's going to go 1 inning. The walk was intentional. No strikeouts, no runs, no hits. He pitches around the 2-base error. And now we go to the bottom of the 8th, and the Dodgers will need a new pitcher. Clement, Straw, and Jimenez are scheduled hitters. Of course, they could do some pinch hitting. So let's see how they want to play this. They will go to left-hander Anthony Banda. He also pitched last night. So Anthony Banda, I think he's the one that gave up the grand slam to Barger. So we're going to have righty Clement, Straw righty, and Jimenez, I believe, is a switch. Could get a pinch hitter. No, Jimenez is left-handed, so he might get a pinch hitter for Jimenez. We shall see. Here's Clement. It's Banda. 3-3-5. Is pitcher Wild? No, he's not Wild. Is the batter Sad Sack? Clement is not a Sad Sack. He's a semi-hero. So he'll single to right field. Unless he's stoic, he will steal. It's right here. Single to right field, stolen base, but stoic holds. He's semi-stoic. The dot says he's stoic, so he will not steal in this case. He will just hold at first base. So Clement leads off with a base hit. And that brings up Miles Straw. 3-4-6. Pitcher is blank. Is the batter eager? Straw is semi-eager. Dot says he is. So instead of walking, he will fly to center field. And that's one away. And we're going to go pinch hitter for Jimenez. Blue Jays need to go to the bench and get some offense. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa will come in and play shortstop in his spot. And he might be the guy that hits as well. In fact, I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to have Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He'll pinch hit for Jimenez and stay in the game to play short in the 9th inning. So Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's been around to several different teams, Yankees and some others. He will be the shortstop in the 9th inning as he pinch hits against Banda with 1 out and 1 on. That's a 2-6-6. And again, that is runner thrown out at first base. So he's picked off twice. They pick off a second batter. Some people play it where you have to roll to the side or die to make it count. But I'm just playing it straight up, and he gets picked off. So bad base running there by Clement as Banda, the lefty, picks him off. 2 outs now. Base is clear for Kiner-Falefa. Whoop, didn't have the decider die. What happened to that? F didn't go through. All right, 3-5-6. That's a left-right split. So there you go. Bringing in a righty to face the lefty. Going to be a base hit. I thought about bringing in the lefty Barger because in real world he had a grand slam off of Banda in the game last night. But I said, no, I got to play the percentages. And there you go. Left-righty split produces the base hit. So here's George Springer. 1-6-6. Is the pitcher a workman? No, he's not. Is Springer a whiffer? He's a semi-whiffer. Dot says no. So instead it'll be a ground out to third base, and that will end the inning. So again, the Blue Jays come up empty-handed to get 2 hits in the inning, but the pickoff is what did them in. And we're going to the 9th. Score still 3-0. Normally we'd go to the experience chart because that result was in red, but we will have a pitching change, and that overrides that. So we'll go into the regular chart. That'll be it for Banda. They'll be bringing in Sasaki to pitch the 9th. Blue Jays will bring in Hoffman. He is their closer. So you might as well use the best you have. Jeff Hoffman, right-hander. The card didn't print out exactly the way it's supposed to. That DB is supposed to be down here under here for double flash. There's a workman double flash with control. Somehow it didn't line up correctly. But Hoffman is the 5th pitcher used, actually the 6th pitcher used by Toronto. And he'll be facing Teoscar Hernandez here in the 9th. 1-1-6, is he fresh? Absolutely. If I had left the other guy in there, it'd have been semi-fresh and he wouldn't have got that. But a 1-1-6 gets him a strikeout because he was fresh. He strikes out Teoscar Hernandez. Actually, double flash. So that means, well, no, because it's not a flash check. So you don't get that on this. Even though it says you strike out here, you have to have the flash result to get that double flash. Otherwise, you just get the one out. At least that's the way I play it. I don't know how. I think that's the way the rule book announces it too. Here's Muncy, 1-4-5. Pitcher's not a struggler, so he will ground to first base. Guerrero will take it, 2 down. And Sasaki loosely in the bullpen, about ready to come in. Here's Kike Hernandez. 2-3-4. Nobody's on base. Is he a hot batter? No, Kike in his last at bat. Wait a minute. You know what? Something got mixed up here. It's supposed to be Will Smith in here somewhere. I think I had the wrong guy batting. So, let's see, 2-3-4 was the hot batter would have been Muncy, and he popped a short too, so it didn't matter. So he will, since he's not a hot batter, he will pop it to third to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Hoffman with a strikeout. And now we go to the bottom of the ninth. It'll be up to Sasaki. And he'll be facing Schneider, Guerrero, Bichette, the scheduled hitters, but there will be a pinch hitter for Schneider. There will be a pinch hitter for Schneider. But first things first, we bring in Roki Sasaki. He is the closer for the Dodgers. Not very good overall in the season. He's a semi-workman, but he got hot right at the end of the playoffs, so that's why they use him as their closer. So that's what we're going to do as well, and just live with the results. But we will get a pinch hitter, and it will be Addison Barger. Barger will pinch hit for Schneider. See if he can get something going here in the bottom of the ninth. So Barger is your pinch hitter. He will face Sasaki. 3-0, bottom of the ninth. 1-2-4. Ask, does the pitcher have control? He does not have the control quality. Is the batter eager? He is semi-eager. The dot says he is, so he'll pop it up to first instead of walking. He would have walked if he wasn't eager. And boy, did they need base runners. But he couldn't get it done. So Barger will pop to first for out number 1. And here's Vladdy Guerrero. 5-5-6. Is he an ace? No, he is not. Not an ace. Is the batter a sad sack? No, he is not. So that's a double to right field for Vladdy Guerrero. He doubles. First hit of the game for Guerrero, and here comes Bo Bichette. 2-6-6. There's no run on first this time to worry about. He is not the leadoff hitter, so he flies to right field. That is out number 2, and it's all down to Alejandro Kirk. Last chance for the Blue Jays. If he gets on, Gary Varsho is on deck, and he's got power. So Kirk needs to find a way just to get on base somehow. 3-4-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is he eager? Kirk is not eager, so he will walk, and he did get on base. But it is going to go to the chemistry chart. So that's going to take away a potential home run chance for Varsho because of the chemistry chart. But he is a tying run, so I guess that's what's most important. We go to the chemistry chart because that result was in purple. And we're going to see if they're harmonious or semi-harmonious. Both teams are harmonious on the chemistry chart. 1-5. 1-5. Pitching team harmony. Yes, outfielder makes sliding grab of a looping liner. Otherwise, it would have been a bloop single. And we'll see who the outfielder is. It is the center fielder, Pages. He makes the play, and the ball game is over. Dodgers win it 3-0. Rewrite history here in Game 1 as they beat the Blue Jays 3-0. And we'll get the totals. And Game 2 will be coming up tomorrow. Blake Snell gets the win. Sasaki gets the save. Yasevich gets the loss. A hit and a walk in the ninth for the Blue Jays, but that was it. So for the Dodgers, 3 runs on 5 hits, and I don't think there were any errors on either side. Oh, there was one error on the Blue Jays. No errors on the Dodgers. 0-7-1 for Toronto. So there is your final for game one. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. No runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for Toronto. Winning pitcher, Blake Snell. He went 6 innings and got the win. Sasaki got the save, and the loss went to Yasevich, who gave up 3 runs in the 4 innings. Only home run of the game was Shohei Ohtani. But then you had the Betts double and the Freeman single, and then Teoscar Hernandez doubled them home, did all their damage in the 4th inning. So game one is in the books. Dodgers rewrite history, 3-5-0 to 0-7-1. There we go. Game two, we'll play it tomorrow, and whoever the starters are, that's what they'll do. The umpires will rotate, and we'll figure out where the umpires are going to be. I believe Adrian Johnson, who was off on this date, will be the home plate umpire tomorrow, but I'll double check that. I will check the box score officially and see what they have, but there you go. Game one in the books. And if nothing else, to me, it was fun because I like creating the players. That's part of the fun of it. It's time consuming. It takes some time, but I enjoy the process of creating those players. And it's very easy to do. And then you go to the website where they have the logos, and you put the logos in there. You change the colors in Excel. I'm not computer proficient, but even I could do it. So very easy to do. Yep, you were correct, DJ. It does not erase what happened in real world, but if you are a Dodger fan, at least it gives you a little bit of sunshine here. I don't know. I don't have a dog in the fight. I could care less who wins. Modern game, I'm not that big a fan of anyway, so I don't even know that I have a team. I guess it'd be the Washington Nationals just because they're local, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So that's it from here. And of course, the board that you couldn't see, whoops, because I can't show everything. I don't have enough width here to show everything. But that's the other play board that has the umpires on it. Will Little was the home plate umpire. Mark Wegner was at first. John Tumpane was at second, and Alan Porter was at third, just like the real game last night. And then we'll rotate them around and put them in there where they're supposed to be next time. So from the Rogers Center, the Dodgers rewrite history and win the game 3-0. Getting the win was Blake Snell. The loss to the rookie Yasevich. And now we'll look forward to game two. I think Yamamoto is pitching for the Dodgers. I'm not sure who the pitcher for the it's probably going to be Gosman, I imagine, for the Blue Jays, but I don't know if that's been announced yet or not. But anyway, thank you for spending part of your Saturday afternoon with me. Since the game of the week is done, just trying to find other things to do on Saturdays. Once this World Series is over, I'll go back probably just playing a demolition game on a Saturday, maybe, or one of the 1987 games. Maybe that's why I'll make the 1987 National League will start appearing on Saturdays instead of Fridays. I don't know. Depends on what's going on, and it's a fluid process. So all it is right now is about having fun. So that's what the name of the game is. That's why the company that makes this is called Play, because you play and you have fun. So it's not rocket science, although there is science behind all these numbers, and all these qualities there's method to the madness, but it's just to me it's just fun. I don't know. Something different, obviously, than Stratomatic for sure. So until next time, if I don't catch you for game two tomorrow, then certainly Monday morning we'll be back for the 87 replay, and it'll be Oakland at the Yankees. Kurt Young against Rasmussen. I think it's Kurt Young against Dennis Rasmussen, if I'm not mistaken. But that'll be Monday morning at 9 o'clock. But otherwise, tomorrow, probably in the morning, maybe the late morning, we'll have game two of this World Series. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.